Hey there besties! Welcome to a new video on our channel. Today we're diving into the captivating world of the manhwa Never Let Go of My Ex-Husband. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing to help our channel thrive. Thanks for joining us, let's jump right in. The story began with our protagonist confined in a caged prison wrapped in a red blanket for warmth. She sat shivering, contemplating the various weapons of death aside from the chilling blades. Lost in her thoughts, she suddenly felt a presence behind her. Startled, she turned and saw a masked man gripping her face. The masked man leaned in close to our protagonist, whispering, "My little angel is amazing, blind as you are, you could run away that far." His voice carried a hint of lust as he asked, "How shall I punish you?" She muttered to herself, recognizing that sometimes the deadliest weapons are warm hands. As he reached out to touch her, she attempted to block him, feeling a shiver run down her spine as he licked the back of her neck, eliciting a moan from her. It seemed he was inexhaustible. The relentless assault left her feeling shattered, fragmented. In the darkness, his eyes glinted with a crimson tint of desire, causing me to tremble involuntarily beneath his kisses. He seemed like a ravenous beast, devouring the warmth of my body without remorse. It was painful, I wanted to scream, yet amidst the agony, there was an inexplicable sensation of pleasure mingled within. The masked man sank his teeth into her flesh momentarily before releasing her. "Be a good girl, my angel, or the pain will only escalate," he warned, brandishing a chain. "I'll confine you, keep you by my side indefinitely. There'll be no more escape attempts," he murmured softly as he secured her feet with the chain. The protagonist screamed in protest, resisting his attempt to imprison her. She sensed the masked man's genuine desire, but also his intent to destroy her is genuine. As she fell into the river, unable to rescue herself, she braced for the inevitable end, closing her eyes. Suddenly a maid's voice pierced through her thoughts, asking who she was and why she was there. Slowly opening her eyes, the protagonist revealed the face of Shi Weiyi, the second eldest daughter of the Shi family. Confusion clouded Shi Weiyi's mind as she awoke, finding herself damp in an unfamiliar room. "Where am I?" she asked the bewildered maid. As she observed the scene around her, a group of maids attending to a child on a toilet seat, she couldn't shake the images of the blind girl from her dream, who bore a striking resemblance to herself. Recalling the man in the silver dove mask only added to her bewilderment. "Who is he?" she wondered silently. "Didn't I perish after being pushed off the cliff, or perhaps I've been reborn?" Shi Weiyi pondered inwardly. Her thoughts were interrupted by the little boy who sat on the toilet seat, holding a book. "Heaven has granted me a little mermaid," he exclaimed, his eyes brightening as he noticed Shi Weiyi. Bewildered, she responded, "What?" The boy introduced himself as Lin Zhua, the heir of the Lin Corporation, and questioned if she was the little mermaid from the story. Lin Zhua excitedly leaped onto Shi Weiyi, almost causing his trousers to slip off. "Please put on your pants first," Shi Weiyi requested, her confusion evident. Observing Lin Zhua's assumption that she was a little mermaid simply because she was drenched, she couldn't help but find his innocence amusing. Glancing down at Lin Zhua on her lap, she remarked inwardly, "What a naive child." Lin Zhua proceeded to share his interpretation of the story he had read, informing her that the little mermaid didn't turn into foam and vanish as the ending suggested. Luo Zhua's excitement shone in his wide eyes as he declared, "She actually came here and became my girlfriend." Shi Weiyi responded calmly, advising him to wait another 10 years before considering getting a girlfriend. Suddenly her demeanor shifted as she realized his name. "Wait, your name is Lin Zhua?" she asked, surprised. In an instant, she recalled that Lin Zhua was her husband's only son from her previous life, her stepson, a bitter aspect of her past she wished to forget. In Shi Weiyi's previous life, she endured relentless bullying as the second daughter of the Shi family, treated as nothing more than a punching bag by everyone around her. Her sole redeeming quality was her beauty. Despite marrying into the prestigious Lin family at the pinnacle of society, she felt no affection for her husband, Lin Du, the CEO of the Lin Corporation. Shi Weiyi consistently neglected him, and despite her stepson Lin Zhu's efforts to win her favor, she remained indifferent to him. Shi Weiyi fell victim to the deceit of another sinister man and eloped with him, unaware of his ulterior motives. To her horror, she discovered that the man she ran away with had conspired with her stepsister. Tragically, Shi Weiyi met her demise at their hands. With a malevolent gleam in her eyes, Shi Fengjia, her stepsister, taunted her as she watched Shi Weiyi drown. "You brought this upon yourself, Shi Weiyi. Rot in hell and reunite with your foolish mother and little brother," she spits out with venomous disdain. As Shi Weiyi played with Lin Zhu, tossing him gently in the air, she couldn't help but marvel at his adorable nature. "He's so cute," she thought, baffled by her lack of affection for him in her previous life. Both of them shared smiles, captivating the maid who watched in astonishment. Determination filled Shi Weiyi as she resolved to treat Lin Zhu well in this new life and win back his affection. Suddenly their moment was interrupted by a stern-faced maid accusing Shi Weiyi of trespassing on Lin Zhu's privacy. "Hey you! Who are you?" she demanded, her finger pointing accusingly at Shi Weiyi. "How dare you peek at the young master in the toilet? Don't you dare touch him with your dirty hands," her words rang out with authority. Their stern gazes almost immediately intimidated the maid. "Miss, let's get you changed into a beautiful dress. Today is my dad's 27th birthday. Just like you, he is also very attractive," Lin Zhu suggested, taking Shi Weiyi's hand to guide her out of the restroom. Confusion clouded Shi Weiyi's mind as she processed the information. Lin Zhu's 27th birthday party, she murmured to herself, her eyes widening with sudden realization. The pieces of Shi Weiyi's past life started to fall into place as she realized she has been reborn, arriving at the party from 2 years prior. Here, Lin Zhu will choose his future wife. Memories flooded back of Lin Zhu's lavish tradition of gathering beautiful and elegant women aboard a luxurious yacht, acting as an emperor selecting his consort. That fateful night, amidst the elite crowd, Shi Weiyi was chosen by Lin Zhu. Determined to seize her second chance, she turned to Lin Zhu, asking, "Can you take me to see your daddy?" "I have something very important to tell him," Shi Weiyi whispered to Lin Zhu. Confusion clouded his young face as he responded, "Huh? The little mermaid wants to marry my daddy and become my mommy?" "I want you to marry me, but instead you want to marry my daddy," Lin Zhu said suckingly. "But a real gentleman won't refuse a lady's request." "I will take you to see daddy now," he declared with a mischievous smile. As Lin Zhu grinned at Shi Weiyi, his thoughts betrayed a calculating ambition. "I don't need to worry. When daddy perish, I will inherit everything, including you," he mused silently. Observing his sinister smile, Shi Weiyi couldn't help but draw parallels to his father. "This wicked smile of his is just like his dad's," she noted to herself, feeling a twinge of tension. Despite her apprehension, she resolved with determination, "But in this life of mine, I will settle my old score with the Shi family and live again." The prominent elders of the Lin family assembled in the meeting room atop the yacht. Lin Zhu sat at the head of the gathering, facing everyone. "Son, all the esteemed ladies present here hail from respectable families. Have you considered choosing one?" Wu Lifei, Lin Zhu's mother, suggested. "Sir, we've convened this event to uplift Elder Mrs. Lin's spirits as she is unwell," added another member. "We're hopeful for her recovery, so let's make the most of our time," a man advised Lin Zhu. Lin Zhu remained silent, sitting with crossed legs and his hand resting on his chin. "Dear, all the ladies present here have remarkable backgrounds. Take a moment to consider," Wu Lifei, Lin Zhu's mother, calmly suggested. "We've gathered here to uplift Grandma and potentially find a stepmother for my son," Lin Zhu stated in a disinterested tone, surprising his mother. With a nonchalant attitude, he added, "So it's up to you all." Then, with a sharp and cold gaze, he concluded, "Get it done quickly," sending a wave of tension rippling through the room. Lin Zhu was renowned in the commercial industry, with extensive connections in both political and underground circles. People often wondered why finding a wife for him proved so challenging. "The CEO doesn't seem pleased. He's on the verge of snapping," one member observed, looking tense. It's his wife, for goodness sake. Why is he asking us to choose? Another member pondered, feeling perplexed. Amidst the tension in the room, Wu Lifei contemplated her son's demeanor. My son has always been reserved and fond of glaring at people even from a young age. He needs a wife who can handle his temperament, she thought. The daughter from the Qi family seems suitable, she suggested to Lin Du, her voice tinged with excitement. Ugly, Lin Du scoffed almost immediately, dismissing the suggestion. What about the lady from the Ho family? She's stunning, Wu Lifei proposed another option. Koi, Lin Du scoffed once more, rejecting the suggestion. What about the seventh daughter of the He family, she suggested. Mr. He is the king of the oil business, his mother reminded him, hoping for a positive response. The old He married 10 times. I'm not interested in such a complicated family. Pass, Lin Du replied, displeasing his mother. Son, please just talk to me, okay? I'll agree to whoever you like, Wu Lifei said finally, giving in to her son. Like I said, I'm not bothered. It's your call, Lin Du replied, absent-mindedly tapping his finger on the table. His nonchalant attitude infuriated everyone, but they lacked the courage to express their thoughts. Sir, the young master has returned, accompanied by a young lady, Uncle Zhong, the butler of the Lin family, informed Lin Du as he entered the meeting room. A woman? Lin Du responded with a serious gaze. At the banquet hall aboard the yacht, Shi Weiyi's stepsister, and Go Ju, Shi Weiyi's fiancé, stood together in an affectionate embrace. Ju, I'm only going along with this to please my grandfather. There's no chance of me marrying that unattractive Lin Du, Shi confessed with a suggestive glance. What's so great about the Lin family anyway? Lin Du's just has a bit more money, but I bet he's not even half as good as you are, Shi remarked before playfully hitting Ju on the butt, causing him to blush instantly. Yeah, Lin Du never showed his face in public. I wonder if he's even capable in bed, Go Ju said. Dear Jia, once I managed to retrieve her mom's property from that foolish woman, I'll get rid of her and marry you, Go Ju declared, gently holding Finjia's chin and gazing into her eyes romantically. Ju, Finjia responded fondly. Mr. Go, sis Finjia, you two are truly meant for each other, Shi Weiyi's cousin remarked as she approached the couple, holding a glass of wine. Shi Weiyi is such a fool. She actually took the invitation and planned to attend the party without informing you. Fortunately, sis Finjia gave her invitation to me, so I came here to take her place. Otherwise she would have deceived you. Shi stated with a dark expression. That deceitful woman. She has a fiancé and yet she tried to hook up with Lin Du. Go Ju exclaimed with an angry glare. Finjia, you're so smart and perceptive, Go Ju responded, embracing her tighter. That's right, that woman doesn't deserve to be here anyway. Finjia exclaimed, hugging Go Ju, her cheeks flushing. When I win over Lin Du's heart tonight and become the mistress of the Lin family, I won't forget what you did to help me, Shi exclaimed excitedly. I heard a dog barking. Shi Weiyi exclaimed with disdain as she entered the banquet hall, carrying Lin Shui in her arms. Wow, what a beauty! Is she Mr. Hong's daughter? Someone in the crowd asked. Of course not. She's far more beautiful than Hong's daughter. She must be from the Shi family, another person replied. Oh yeah. I recall hearing that she's considered the most beautiful lady in town, isn't she? A man asked again. She's indeed the #1 beauty in the whole capital city, someone from the crowd praised. Damn, that woman stole my thunder, Shi said with disdain evident in her eyes. Wait. How come you're here? Go Ju asked, shocked. The dress she's wearing is Dairo's new seasonal exclusive. How did she get that? Shi thought to herself, a jealous expression crossing her face. Shi Weiyi must have sneaked in as she didn't receive an invitation letter. I don't care how she got in, but she looks incredibly promiscuous tonight. What if Lin Du takes an interest in her? Shi whispered to Shi, planting seeds of jealousy in her mind. Sis Finjia, don't worry. I'll make sure she embarrasses herself in front of everyone and gets kicked out, Shi Weiyi replied with a wicked look in her eyes. Humph, what a loyal lackey, Shi Weiyi thought with a grin. This is Shi Weiyi. Shi Weiyi exclaimed, pointing at Weiyi. She didn't have an invitation and snuck in. Quickly escort her out, she instructed the guards of the party. Shi Weiyi was taken aback but remained silent. Miss, please show me your invitation letter, a guard requested politely. Shi Weiyi, you certainly know how to manipulate situations. Didn't you steal my invitation in the first place? Shi Weiyi remarked calmly, her expression turning cold as she held Lin Zhuo. Now that the security guard is here, they might as well do me the favor and escort you out, she countered. In the midst of the bustling crowd, Shi Weiyi's voice cut through the air, drawing the attention of onlookers. Family Shi? Which family are they? Remarked one bystander, while another responded in a hushed tone, I'm not sure, but Shi Weiyi sounds rather unconventional. Shi Weiyi, catching wind of the murmurs, displayed a displeased expression. Then her sharp voice pierced the atmosphere, do you not remember you have a fiancé? Your behavior is unacceptable. Shi Weiyi pointed an accusing finger at Shi Weiyi, her anger palpable. You're attempting to seduce Mr. Lin and advance your status. You're nothing but a deceitful woman. The words echoed, causing a stir among the bystanders. In a swift reaction, Shi Weiyi stepped forward, delivering a resounding slap to Shi Weiyi. Shocked, Shi Weiyi held her cheek in disbelief. She actually struck me, Shi Weiyi thought, astonishment clear on her face. You've said more than your share. Take a rest, Shi Weiyi stated coldly, her finger pressed against her lips. Meanwhile Lin Zhuo chuckled, clearly entertained by the unfolding drama. Mommy, does your hand hurt? Lin Zhuo inquired, examining Shi Weiyi's hand with concern. I'm fine, but I do need to clean it, Shi Weiyi responded, a hint of delight in her voice. However, Shi Weiyi interjected, with a taunting grin, Mommy? Oh, why don't you introduce your illegitimate child to everyone here? Oh, is your sugar daddy present too? Is that why you're feeling so cocky? Shi Weiyi's expression turned cold and slightly angry as she dared Shi Weiyi to repeat her words. Mommy gave you a chance but you didn't seize it. Lin Zhuo interjected angrily, his eyes flashing with malice. In that case, someone should teach that woman her place, Lin Zhuo declared, pointing directly at Shi Weiyi. Yes, young master, a guard responded obediently. Shi Weiyi's eyes widened in shock. A what? Finjia exclaimed while Goju stood there stunned. Is that kid the young master of the Lin family? Shi Weiyi asked, feeling perplexed and tense. You're hiding behind a child, Shi Weiyi. Shame on you. Shi Weiyi accused, her voice filled with disdain. I dare you to face me without any help. Shi Weiyi spat angrily, her voice filled with defiance as two guards restrained her. Oh, you're practically begging me to strike you? But today I only lay hands on people, not shrews, Shi Weiyi retorted, a mocking laugh escaping her lips. The guards took turns slapping Shi Weiyi under Lin Zhuo's watchful gaze. Harder! Have you not eaten today? Lin Zhuo ordered, his arms on his waist in a commanding manner. She's deliberately provoking Mommy. Teach her a lesson and I'll reward you, Lin Zhuo added, a hint of malice in his tone. My face. I'm a relative of the Shi family. I'm Shi Finjia's cousin. Shi Weiyi screamed in agony, the pain evident on her face. Shi Weiyi's outburst elicited a disgusted look from Shi Finjia. Shi Weiyi is such a foolish pawn. Stop saying my name, Finjia thought to herself, feeling repulsed. Mummy, who's Shi Finjia? What an amusing name. Is she as unattractive as this Shi Weiyi? They both have peculiar names, Lin Zhuo remarked, prompting Shi Weiyi to burst into laughter. Who knows? What sort of parents would give such names to their children? Shi Weiyi exclaimed, still laughing. However, Finjia's expression turned sour. Finjia felt a surge of anger at being mocked for her name. How did this vixen manage to catch the eye of the young master of the Lin family? She never dared to speak up before, but today her tongue is as sharp as a blade. Finjia seethed inwardly, forcing herself to maintain a smiling facade despite her frustration. She must be envious of me because I stole Ju away from her. This is all just a game to her. Finjia fumed inwardly. Meanwhile, the guards continued to administer slaps to Shi Weiyi as Lin Zhuo issued his next command. That's enough. Hang her up and make sure Mona is entertained. Mona has a particular fondness for pigs, Lin Zhuo said with contempt. Yes sir, the guard responded, and they proceeded to lift Shi Weiyi, who pleaded tearfully. Please no. Spare me please. Shi Weiyi recalled that Mona was a male crocodile raised by Lin Zhuo. Truly Lucifer's heart is hidden beneath an angel's face, she thought, trembling slightly upon hearing Lin Zhuo's command. Lin Zhuo stood there, a satisfied smirk playing on his lips. However, Finjia intervened, halting the proceedings. Wait, she exclaimed, clutching her waist. Wei, you've misunderstood Shi Weiyi, she stated sharply. Upon seeing Finjia approach Shi Weiyi, Shi Weiyi seized the opportunity to plead for help. Sis Finjia, please save me, she begged desperately. Shi Weiyi observed Finjia's arrival. Here comes the boss, she thought, her expression neutral as Finjia addressed Lin Zhuo. Hello young master. I'm sure Finjia, Wei's sister and your aunt, Finjia greeted with a smile. Miss, did you take a swim in perfume or something? Lin Zhuo remarked, holding his nose as Finjia's overwhelming scent filled the air. Daddy always said that only pretentious women wear perfume like that. Men should stay away from them, he added. Turning to Shi Weiyi, Lin Zhuo inquired, Mommy, is she your sister, as he held her hand. Yes, my stepsister, like Cinderella's, Shi Weiyi confirmed. I see a malicious and unattractive woman, Lin Zhuo stated, causing Finjia to feel perplexed by his abrupt comment. Amidst their conversation, Shi Weiyi ran towards Finjia, clutching her gown with a swollen face. She pleaded, Sis Finjia, please help me. Turning her attention to Shi Weiyi, Shi Weiyi hurled insults, you despicable wench. Sis Finjia deserves far better than you. Your mother was ostracized by the Shi family while Finjia's mother is the only true Mrs. Shi. Her words were clearly intended to provoke Shi Weiyi. Shi Weiyi, shut the hell up, Finjia muttered to herself, her expression tense with frustration. You're correct. A bastard like Shi Finjia isn't my sister at all, Shi Weiyi declared loudly, her words cutting through the tension and drawing everyone's attention. Murmurs rippled through the crowd as Shi Weiyi's revelation sank in. So Shi Weiyi is actually younger than Shi Finjia? How is that possible if her mother married Mr. Shi first? Someone whispered quietly to another person, prompting speculation and discussion. Listen, that old Shi had an affair with another woman not long after he married Wei's mother. Did you know that Shi Finjia's mother was originally the maid of the first Mrs. Shi? But the maid ended up replacing the first lady and became the next Mrs. Shi, another person disclosed, revealing a scandalous family secret. So the renowned Shi Finjia, the owner of the Fengfang Entertainment, is actually illegitimate, another individual added, contributing to the growing shock and intrigue among the onlookers. This woman is publicly humiliating me, Finjia thought to herself, feeling frightened and perspiring as she sensed the murmurs and stares from the crowd behind her. The scandal of the first generation shouldn't be our concern. I've always treated you as my own sister, Finjia declared with a forced smile, attempting to maintain composure despite her inner turmoil. If you want to play games, then let's play, Shi Weiyi resolved silently, steeling herself for whatever came next. Lin Zhuo remarked, pinching his nose, wow, her fakeness is as overwhelming as her perfume. He continued, I prefer genuine people, like my mommy, who doesn't wear such overpowering scents. Finjia intervened, saying, I blame myself. I handed your invitation to Shi Weiyi with good intentions. Since you're engaged to Ju, it's inappropriate for you to attend such events. You shouldn't betray your fiancé, as she helped Shi Weiyi up from the floor. Taken aback, Go Ju questioned, why did you come to the party and pursue Mr. Lin behind my back, Wei? Didn't you promise to love me forever? Weren't you madly in love with me? Was it all fake? Guju asked angrily. Shi Weiyi calmly picked up her phone and replied, regarding the marriage proposal, it was your decision alone. I never accepted it. Are you drunk or something, Mr. Go? She asked before sending a message. Nonsense. I've already provided your family with 30 million for our engagement. The Shi family has accepted it, yet you deny it. Guju pointed angrily at Shi Weiyi, who couldn't help but giggle. Hey, I'm talking to you. Stop ignoring me, he demanded. Suddenly everyone's phones began ringing, indicating a message notification. Humph, I just got a message, a lady remarked. Me too, said someone else. What? Shi Fengjia snatched her sister's fiancé, someone read from the message. The lady opened the message, revealing leaked photos of Guju and Shi Fengjia together. My God, Guju and Shi Fengjia have been together behind Wei's back. What a disgusting couple. Another person added, this Mr. Go is such a loser. He proposed to Wei and meanwhile he slept with Shi Fengjia. Is this how an insecure guy boosts his confidence? If you ask me, Shi Fengjia is also at fault. She knew that Guju is engaged to Wei and still slept with him? Doesn't she have any shame? Someone else said. Fengjia and Guju were stunned upon realizing their leaked photos. Where did she get these photos? Fengjia thought. What a gross couple, someone shouted. What an eyesore. I can't stand seeing this adultery scene, another person exclaimed. Well, I don't want them to upset my Mona's stomach. Just throw them in the ocean, Linjua said, pointing at the three of them. Wei, you're so kind. You wouldn't really let them do that to us, would you? I'm your half-sister and we both have the same father, Fengjia said, faking tears. You're right. I can't just stand by and watch that. What to do? Wei wondered, feeding Linjua a piece of cake. Humph, this brat is easy to convince. I know it. As long as I act weak she'll spare me, Fengjia thought with a smirk. Wrap them up with plenty of fish food and then toss them into the sea. The more fish food the better, Shi Weiyi commanded. Mommy, feed me another bite of cake, it's delicious. Linjua said happily, his face blushing with innocence. Shi Weiyi, you wicked witch. Guju shouted as they were being bound. You'll get haunted after I die, Fengjia said defiantly as they were dragged away. This bitch is really getting even with us. Now we're going to sink right down to the ocean, Fengjia thought. Life is short and I won't tolerate any bullies. For scumbags like you, I'll use violence to educate you. Shi Weiyi declared with confidence. Mommy, you're great. Mommy, you're the best. Linjua exclaimed happily as he played with Shi Weiyi. Unbeknownst to them, they were being observed by Lindu, his mother and the elders. This girl has a heart of rock and hands of steel and the young master seems to like her a lot, someone whispered as they watched Lindu from a distance. It was unusual because Linjua typically had a strong aversion to women, even more so than his father. Son, that girl, his mother said softly with her arms folded. She's fun. I'll marry her then, Lindu replied casually, holding a cigar. Mommy, take a bite of this Mont Blanc cake, Daddy's favorite, Linjua said happily as he offered Shi Weiyi a piece of cake. Shi Weiyi was stunned. In her previous life she had only cared about Guju and never paid attention to what her husband liked to eat. I've got to remember this now, she muttered to herself. Wei. My dear granddaughter. You have honored our family name, Shi Jingmao, Shi Wei's grandfather said with pride. That's right, Wei. The Lin family just sent the engagement gift. You're now officially Mrs. Lin. It's worth 20 times the Go family, Shi Chuan, Wei's father said, standing next to Hibichi, her stepmother. Elder Mr. Shi, are you sure that the Lin family wants your granddaughter? We haven't seen Mr. Lin yet, an onlooker questioned. Another onlooker joined in asking, yeah, although Shi Weiyi is considered the #1 beauty in town, all the girls here are charming. Why did the Lin family choose her? In Shi Weiyi's previous life, the same scenario unfolded. She was told that she was chosen to be Lin Du's wife. So unfair. I'm just as good as Shi Weiyi, a lady said, feeling sad for not being selected. In her previous life, Lin Du didn't propose to her romantically. He simply threw millions of dollars to buy her hand in marriage as if she were some commodity. But in this life it won't be easy, she said confidently to herself. Among all the women, Daddy sharply chose the little mermaid to be his wife. What good taste he has, just like me. Lin Zhuo said to himself as both mother and son grinned devilishly, reminiscing about their private plans. Wait a second, why am I happy for him? Lin Zhuo asked himself. Wei, although you've thrown your sister, your cousin, and your fiancé to the sea, as your mother I will still take care of your wedding for the sake of our family, Hibichi, Shi Weiyi's stepmother, said, wearing a fake smile. But within her she cursed Shi Weiyi for daring to treat her daughter like that. She vowed to herself to harm Shi Weiyi someday. Okay, I'm not against it, Shi Weiyi replied casually. After all, you have the nerve to lie. So, I'll just pretend to believe you, Shi Weiyi said casually, folding her arms, for she didn't believe a word Hibichi said. This girl is just like her mother. What a jinx, Hibichi thought, her facial expression turning grimly. Why don't you say it out loud? Let's all hear it. Shi Weiyi challenged her stepmother, making her tense up as she went mute. She can read my mind? Hibichi thought, shaking slightly. Lin Zhuo heard his father's voice. Daddy, he called back, pondering. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the leader of our Lin family, Mr. Lin Du, an announcer declared as Lin Du descended the stairs. Holy moly, who told me Lin Du is ugly? He's so hot, one person whispered. He's quite the opposite of ugly, isn't he? Another agreed quietly. His legs are so long that I can slide down on it, another observed. Lin Du descended the staircase gracefully, taking measured steps as he made his way down. Hey, your nose is bleeding, someone remarked to another. Lin Du felt a strange sense of familiarity wash over him as he locked eyes with Shi Weiyi. Why does she feel so familiar, he wondered, a faint ache tugging at his heart. Though they had been married in their past life, she had never truly looked at him with her heart. I promise to truly see you this time, Shi Weiyi vowed silently to herself, her determination shining in her eyes. Daddy! Lin Zhuo exclaimed excitedly, running up to hug his father, drawing attention from the crowd with his exuberance. Reacting quickly, he scooped his son up. Daddy, you really found me a new mommy. Congratulations to both of us, Lin Zhuo exclaimed happily. Shi Weiyi, however, seemed flustered, holding her chest with a rapid heartbeat. Mummy is petrified. Such a nymphomaniac. You were pretty happy with me just now, Lin Zhuo thought, observing her reaction. Looks like extra practice for you today, Lin Du said calmly to Zhuo. Lin Zhuo sighed as he affirmed to Lin Du's instruction. Damn! If I had known Lin Du was this handsome, I would have asked Fengjia and Fengchun to prepare better for the occasion, Hibichi thought angrily. It's a shame that one is thrown out of the party and the other is sleeping at home, she muttered to herself in frustration. You've gained weight again, Lin Du remarked to his son as he played with him, while Shi Weiyi stood nearby, observing them. Miss Weiyi, someone called out, drawing her attention away from the scene. She turned to see two men behind her. I'm the housekeeper of the Lin family, Lin Zhong, he introduced himself. My master asked me to inquire, will you marry into the Lin family and become our master's wife? Uncle Zhong asked, unveiling a diamond ring for her proposal, stunning the entire crowd. This isn't just a diamond ring, it's a South African diamond mine. Shi Weiyi thought, extremely stunned by the grand gesture. The watching crowd was indeed impressed by the grandeur of the ring presented to Shi Weiyi. How could she possibly refuse such an offer? She must be thrilled, someone remarked excitedly. I wish I had seen his handsome face sooner. I'm devastated now, another voice lamented in disappointment. I'll be waiting in line for him to get divorced, yet another person declared, already plotting their next move. Uncle Zhong, I believe it's your master who should personally make the proposal. After all, I'm marrying him, Shi Weiyi stated calmly, stunning Lin Du with her assertiveness. Is it okay, Mr. Lin? Shi Weiyi asked, casting a sidelong glance at him. She's quite spirited, Uncle Zhong thought to himself, impressed by her boldness. Shi Weiyi's father quickly intervened, grabbing her arm and apologizing for her behavior. She's young and headstrong, please forgive her, he pleaded, scolding her for her rudeness towards Mr. Lin and butler Zhong. You're fortunate to be chosen by the Lin family, he added with a hint of disdain. This girl really doesn't understand her position, a lady observed to her neighbor. The Lin family has already given her family the engagement gift, yet she's trying to demand more, her neighbor remarked. Does she expect Mr. Lin to drop down on one knee and propose? Another onlooker said, her words dripping with sarcasm. Weiyi, well done. Keep pushing and you'll dig your own grave, she thought. As long as you anger the Lin family, I can arrange for my daughter Fenjia to marry him and become the mistress of the Lin family, Hibichi thought to herself, plotting her own schemes. What are you apologizing for? Lin Du questioned Shi Weiyi's father with an unapologetic gaze. She's my future wife and I believe she has a valid point, he stated calmly, his eyes meeting Shi Weiyi with affection. Lin Du knelt on one knee, holding out his hand and gently taking her arm. Miss Shi Weiyi, you are truly enchanting. Would I have the honor of becoming your husband? He asked, kissing her hand tenderly. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure. If you enjoyed what you watched, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that notification bell. Your comments mean the world to us and help us improve. The next episode promises even more excitement and unexpected twists, so stay tuned as we embark on this thrilling journey together. Keep the anticipation alive and we'll catch you in the next episode.